changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration to make you simply happy. It's Wow Wednesday, and on this last day of National Military Appreciation Month, I want to showcase a story that will make you really appreciate those military parents and what they go through as the rest of us blissfully lead our lives. This story is from our new book called Chicken Soup for the Soul Military Families, and it's by Diana Bemis Good. Diana's story started as she frantically tore open an envelope. She hadn't received a letter in more than a month. "Please, Lord, please let my son be okay," she prayed as she yanked out the letter. She screamed for her husband after she scanned it. He ran in, worried. "What is it? What's wrong? Why are you crying?" "He's coming home," she said. 2 weeks later, Diana was at the airport waiting. This joyous day had been a long time coming, because 3 months earlier, Diana had been watching the news at home when a news alert crossed the bottom of the screen. It said this: "Huey helicopter down, no survivors. Huey helicopter down, no survivors." Diana had sat there frozen. As far as she knew, there were only 8 or 9 Hueys operating during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and that was the kind of helicopter her son Joshua flew in. There was no more information than that. There was nothing she or her husband could do to find out either. They just had to wait. Diana thought about praying, but if she prayed that Joshua wasn't one of the fallen, then that meant someone else's child was. An hour after she saw the news on TV, Diana was able to talk with an officer. He said that if Joshua was on that helicopter, there would be a knock on the door within 24 hours. Somehow, Diana made it through the night and went to work the next day. But she felt like she was on autopilot as she made it through her day as a teacher. Finally, the school bell rang, and it was 2:30 p.m. But it wasn't only the end of the school day. It was the end of the 24-hour waiting period. Joshua was safe, but Diana put her head down on her desk and cried for the other families, the ones that had gotten the dreaded knock on the door. Now, 3 months later, Diana was in the airport about to see her son. The whole family was there, in fact, holding balloons, flowers, and a large banner with "Welcome Home Joshua" painted across it in red, white, and blue paint. Someone saw the arrival screen and informed them, "He's landed, you guys, he's finally here." They all ran back to the exit from the security area where he would be coming out. Diana looked as far as she could down the concourse. There was a sign warning that everyone had to stay behind a yellow line on the floor. But when Diana saw that tall, thin young man with auburn hair and a big smile, she ran right over that line and jumped into her son's arms. Then she stood back and looked into his face just to make sure he was real. It was definitely Joshua, but he looked different. There was a weariness on his face and sadness behind that smile. Diana walked back across the yellow line, arm in arm with her son. So that was a hard story to tell. I read it out loud over and over last night, trying to get control of my crying. I hope you're as moved as I am, and as grateful to the millions of Americans who were involved with military service, the service members and their families who sacrificed so much themselves. While their sons and daughters, their mothers and fathers, their husbands and wives are serving, so are those family members, which is why we're so proud and honored to have made Chicken Soup for the Soul Military Families, not only to support our military families, but also as a way of raising funds for the USO, which is getting 60 cents for each book sold, whether in print or as an ebook. We were so fortunate to collaborate with the USO as we collected and chose the 101 stories in the book about military families, because those military families truly are the force behind the forces, as the USO would say. I'm Amy Newmark. Thank you for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast, and please remember to share it with your friends and family. Show them how to listen to podcasts. I read that fewer than 20% of Americans have ever listened to a podcast, and they have no idea how easy and fun it is. And come back tomorrow for Thoughtful Thursday. We're going to talk about a whole new set of challenges for teachers as they navigate the new world of transgender teens and try to do the right thing for these students.